I now have a choice between Adun and the Purifiers, or Slayn and the Tal'darim. I choose Slayn. Upon getting to Slayn, you see the Death Fleet, and Alarak explains its purpose. Alarak then says that he needs time to prepare for Rak'Shir. Alarak then explains about the Chain of Ascension, and how you can only ascend it by defeating those above you, to prove that you're the most capable of fulfilling Amon's will. Artanis asks Rohana why Amon would abandon his loyal followers, and Rohana says that Amon doesn't want any allies other than his hybrids. Carax notices that the Tal'darim war machines are similar to the Templars' technology, and Artanis thinks the Tal'darim may have been attacking them and taking their technology. Steps of the Rite. In order for the ritual to proceed, you need to eliminate Malash's guardians. However, Terrazine flows cause Amon's forces to appear by bringing this world closer to the void. Also, there's 2 Tal'darim motherships that contain Solarite. After you defeat the 4 identical guardians in their lightly guarded bases, Alarak reveals that this isn't part of the ritual, he just wanted to kill the guardians. He then challenges High Lord Malash to Rak'Shir. During the cutscene, Artanis confronts Alarak for using the Templar as a weapon. Alarak seems annoyed at this, but says that killing the Guardians will allow him to rule unchallenged. He also claims that Amon is afraid of him, as Amon can't control the Tal'darim as they don't have a Kala. Artanis reminds him that he still has to win the battle, however, Alarak remains confident in himself. Alarak then provides the backstory for Malash, the High Lord from the prologue, including how he rose in power, and how he loves to torture those he defeats. Vorazun condemns the Chain of Ascension, but Artanis points out that both of their people once condemned each other's practices. He hopes that once Amon is defeated, their cultures will change from servitude to something better. Finally, Carax says that the artifact is reacting to the void energy, and proposes that this Terrazine is linked to the void. Artanis believes that this may be why the Tal'darim build temples on planets with Terrazine, and Carax decides to use Terrazine to test the artifact. Rak'Shir. This mission starts with Alarak and Malash engaging in a duel to the death. However, both sides can help their champion by moving their units nearby and destroying enemy bases. For some reason, Amon doesn't use his forces in this battle, perhaps because they're too far away from the Terrazine. As Alarak starts winning, he commands the Protoss to kill Malash's supporters, and Artanis reminds Alarak that he commands these warriors, not Alarak. Next, Carax finds 3 nearby elementals that contain Solarite, which have to be killed right now instead of after this duel. After Malash is pushed back, hybrids appear to assist him, and Malash tells the Tal'darim that if they fight well they can become hybrids. Alarak immediately dismisses this claim. Finally, Alarak pushes Malash into the pit, becomes High Lord, and tells the Tal'darim that they were never going to be made into hybrids. Then everyone either instantly believes Alarak and supports killing Amon, or obeys Alarak out of fear. During the cutscene, Alarak confirms that the Death Fleet is under his command. Artanis asks if the Tal'darim believe in this cause, and Alarak replies that what matters is that they obey him. Artanis talks about forging an alliance and uniting their people. Alarak replies by saying that Artanis can do this by submitting to him. This annoys Artanis, who points out that alone the Tal'darim can't beat Amon, but this seems to amuse Alarak and he agrees to the alliance. On the Spear of Adun, Artanis asks Alarak whether the Tal'darim believe Alarak, or will try to declare Rak'Shir on him. Alarak is unconcerned and says that they should go to Ire and fight Amon. Artanis says they'll only go when the time is right. Vorazun worries what will happen after Amon is defeated, as the Tal'darim may not integrate with them. Artanis says it's a risk, but hopes for a unified Protoss. Vorazun is also worried about being influenced by the Tal'darim, and Artanis agrees that they will be changed. Rohana reveals that Amon believes all suffering results from the Xel'Naga's cycle, so he plans to end it. However, he also wants these Xel'Naga creations to suffer. Finally, Phoenix says he'll kill Alarak if he betrays them. Conclusion. The Slayn missions contain the third version of the Tal'darim. Unlike in Wings of Liberty, where they were led by the Tal'darim Executor, and Heart of the Swarm, where they were led by Nerud, here they're led by the High Lord in a hierarchy called the Chain of Ascension, with the two other leaders never being mentioned. I have no idea why Blizzard retconned the Tal'darim twice, but I suspect it has something to do with making the plot up as they went along. In Steps of the Right, the high levels of Terrazine cause Amon's forces to manifest, like in Evil Awoken. Though in the Wings of Liberty mission, Welcome to the Jungle, the Tal'darim did possess Terrazine, and tried to prevent Rayna getting this gas, it couldn't summon monsters, though this may have been because Amon was dead at the time. Though even if he was dead, he still would have been in the void. It's possible that Amon can create these soldiers, but only under certain conditions, which explains why they appear in Evil Awoken and this mission, but not Welcome to the Jungle. Though this doesn't explain why he makes them look like Terran, Zerg and Protoss units rather than hybrids. It's also not clear how the Tal'darim will prevent Amon constantly attacking them with these forces after they side with the Protoss, as this planet is supposed to be full of Terrazine. Regarding Alarak having the Guardians killed to weaken Malash and strengthen his own position, this was a good strategic decision, though Artanis was right to be angry with Alarak for tricking him. During Rak'Shir, we learn from Malash that Amon has promised to make the Tal'darim into hybrids, something that Alarak dismisses. As Alarak mentioned after the infinite cycle that Amon betrayed the Tal'darim, it's possible that he was referring to this, though it's unclear how Alarak found this out. Nevertheless, this needed to be included much earlier after the infinite cycle, as everyone just accepted Alarak's mutiny without trying to find out why exactly he had mutinied. The only other thing I have to say about this mission was that Malash having his base in front of the pit, rather than to the side of it, made a lot of sense, as this would benefit him the most. Though it may seem odd that the Tal'darim suddenly abandoned their god after Alarak became High Lord, as Amon is directly above Alarak, and in the Chain of Ascension you can ascend by defeating those above you, then it's not unreasonable for Alarak to try to remove Amon and ascend to the top of the chain. As Artanis raises this issue with Alarak, it's clear that the writers did try to address how difficult this change would be, so I'd say this was an example of good writing rather than plot convenience. Regarding characters, they were used effectively in this mission. As this is Alarak's home planet, it makes sense for him to explain everything about the Tal'darim. And since none of the other characters know about this planet, it makes sense for them to ask Alarak about it. The ruthless Alarak and the noble Artanis both display very different ruling styles, making them good foils to each other. By contrast, Vorazon doesn't act as a foil for Artanis, or Alarak, as her lack of personality makes it hard for her to contrast with either of them. Though Vorazon doesn't do much, she worries about what the Tal'darim will do after Amon is killed, and how it may affect them is a realistic worry. It also highlights that even if Amon is defeated, it may not fix all their problems. Finally, Rohanna provides useful information regarding Amon and his goals. I'm guessing that by Xel'Naga creations, Amon means all living things created after the Xel'Naga seeded the universe, because technically he was the one who created the Protoss and manipulated the Zerg. In conclusion, this was a good set of missions that used the characters well and fleshed out the Tal'darim. Unfortunately, all the poor decisions made in previous missions, such as the inconsistent Tal'darim origins and Alarak not explaining his motives, undermine these missions.